I hadn't told you the video you just saw was completely shot on an iPhone, would you be able to tell? If not, stick around and I'll explain to you what log is, why and how to use it, and most importantly, how to color grade it right on your iPhone without any knowledge of color science or editing needed. So you can get colors just like these. Or maybe like these, and any other style that you want. So, what is log? In simple terms, it's a flat color profile that you then have to revert back to a colored profile called Rec 709. But why should you do that if the phone already records with colors to begin with? And that's a good question. The main difference between shooting in log and Rec 709 is that when shooting in log, there is absolutely no post-processing involved. So your camera, in our case the iPhone, shoots the scene just as the sensor sees it. In other words, it's just raw footage. However, when you're recording in Rec 709, the phone applies all the processing that Apple built in. So you get denoising, skin smoothing, oversaturated skies, and all that stuff that makes iPhone footage look, well, like iPhone footage. Think of it more like food. Log footage is raw ingredients that you have to cook yourself, and Rec 709 footage is already cooked food that is being served to you. Except it's more like frozen food instead of a 5-star meal. And just like with food, once it's done, you can't really change it. Meaning, if there's too much processing or you don't like how it's processed, all you can do is just live with it. You could of course try to slap some colors in it or add more sharpening, but all it's gonna do is just make the footage terrible. It's like adding sugar to a meal that has too much salt. Shooting in log gives you more flexibility in post-production. It flattens the image, preserving highlights and shadows, meaning you can adjust the exposure, contrast and colors more precisely, just like on a big camera. But with the iPhone, the real advantage is that it makes your footage look like it wasn't shot on a phone. Having the option to shoot log on a phone is insane. No other phone can do that. It's like having a Ferrari engine in a Honda Civic, but you can actually use it. Enabling log is simple. Open the camera settings, go to Formats, switch ProRes on and enable log. Now once you open your camera app, you'll see this ProRes Log option. Before you activate it though, there's some things you need to know. First, if your iPhone has less than 256 gigs of storage, you won't be able to shoot in 4K. And regardless of your iPhone storage, you won't be able to shoot in 60 FPS, because ProRes requires a lot of storage, but there's two workarounds. First, you can connect external storage to your iPhone and it will unlock all the settings and automatically record to the external storage. Or you could just download Apple's official Pro Camera app. It's called Final Cut Camera, and instead of ProRes, it allows you to select H.265. See how the available time changes? Also, you can now choose any frame rate you want. Both these formats allow you to shoot in log, which is all we want. H.265 is just a more compressed format, so some mid-range computers can have issues editing. But since we're gonna be editing it on the iPhone, it doesn't really matter. Also, the Final Cut Camera app allows you to preview the footage in Rec 709 while recording, instead of showing you a flat color profile like the main camera app does. And after you're done shooting, you can just save the file to your camera roll. So, usually editing log footage requires extra steps like applying a Rec 709 conversion LUT to bring back contrast and color, and then the whole color grading process. But since we don't know how to do that and we couldn't care less, here's a much simpler method. For the purpose of this video, I'll be using an app called Enhancer because it automatically converts log footage to Rec 709 without you having to do anything whatsoever, and then all you have to do is choose a look or a style that you like. Once you've chosen your look, you can even edit it further or save it as a favorite so you can find it faster next time. It also works just the same with photos and ProRAW. My favorite style is Cinestill. It's a dark bluish color grade with reds in the highlights. You can see how it transforms iPhone footage, making it look like film. But you can use any style that you want, of course. Just keep in mind that each style usually requires a fitting scene, like Cinestill here works great with this dark scene. In broad daylight, it would look terrible. So if a certain style doesn't work for you, try experimenting with your scenes and have fun shooting. Now there's a few downsides to the Enhancer app. While it's good at emulating film and has quite a few one-tap color grades, I don't like the interface at all. I think it's trying to be too clean and I often find myself lost in it. I also wish it had an HSL tab, like in Lightroom, so you could have control over certain colors, instead of having to look for a totally different grade if you didn't like one color. And the price is definitely not for everyone, but that's what you pay for having iPhone footage look this good. However, if you're willing to invest a bit more time into learning, there's also other apps like LumaFusion, which is a one-time purchase and it's relatively cheap. cheap. While it doesn't offer any built-in one-top color grades, you can actually download them. They're called LUTs and most colorists sell them, but there's tons of free ones on the internet. So you can import them into LumaFusion and use them as a one-tap preset. Actually, I'll be giving away a pack of 35 color grading LUTs to 10 random people that leave a comment and subscribe. Just make sure to leave your email for contact. Also, keep in mind that you need a Rec 709 conversion LUT first, which you can download from Apple's official website, but I'll include it in the pack. LumaFusion also has the advantage of being a full-blown editing app in comparison to Dehancer, and while we're at it, you can even use CapCut for the same steps or even DaVinci Resolve if you're really trying to get your feet wet and try color grading yourself. And if you're worried about not being able to use cinematic mode with Log, there's an app called Lid that can add a realistic blur effect to simulate Apple's cinematic mode, so you're not compromising on anything really. So, to recap, if you're just shooting casual videos, Apple Log might not seem compelling enough. But if you want footage that looks like it came out of a real camera, this feature is a must-have. I'd even upgrade my iPhone for it, but that's just me. It offers deeper color control, improved dynamic range, better skin tones, and so on. The important note is it gets rid of Apple's fake processing, so your iPhone footage doesn't look fake. Tell me what you think. Will you be shooting an Apple Log? Let me know down in the comments. If this breakdown helped, be sure to like and subscribe. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.